Dave, what are you hearing about this announcement?
Well, you know, it's interesting because a lot of sources we've been talking to seem to feel that more progress is being made than not on pay issues. The gap closing a little bit with Ford. It appears that Ford and the UAW have agreed to end tiers. That's a big thing, but they're still far apart on some other issues. So tomorrow, a big day either way, and it'll be the third week of this strike officially tomorrow once this news comes out as well. UAW President Shawn Fain bringing some humor to his messaging on X, formerly Twitter, borrowing a screenshot from ABC's The Bachelorette, asking which of the big three will get the rose and be spared additional strikes come Friday in a 2 p.m. announcement. Meantime, sources say progress is being made in the ongoing talks.
It's solidarity no matter what. We're one no matter what at the end of the day.
Hello works on the Bronco and Ranger at Ford Michigan Assembly in Wayne. He weighed in on Ford's latest offer.
20% is the last thing I read. It's not close to what we deserve and what we're asking for.
That latest offer from the Blue Oval also does away with tiers, a key sticking point for the union.
That's a good breakthrough, but there's still more. I seen that they agreeing to the COLA adjustment, the increased wage for the TFTs, but also, you still got people that have been here for a long time that still deserve, that kind of money.
Meantime, the strike ripples continue. The same day GM announced a sixth offer made to the union, the automaker confirmed cuts to software positions impacting nearly 180 workers. And on Wednesday, Ford laid off 400 workers in a move they blame on the strike. That makes more than 3,500 Big Three workers laid off in total so far, with more than 25,000 on strike.
If you look at the offers, or at least what's publicly available, it does appear that there are gaps being closed and they're converging, which is, very encouraging.
Alan Amici leads the Center for Automotive Research. He says there are reasons to be hopeful when it comes to the progress made, but says the union can still cause a lot of damage to auto production if they decide to on Friday.
The union's been kind of surgical in which plants they're striking. But there's a lot of high profit vehicles that are still out there, like the pickup trucks. For the most part, those plants have been spared, and other really high volume sport utilities that have been spared so far. But further escalation, these companies are really going to feel it.
Now remember, the UAW started out all the way up here at 46%, what they were looking for in this strike, and they came down to 36%. Double-digit wage increases now reportedly down to 30% here, so that gap closing. And keep in mind, this strike has already been pricey. GM said it cost them $200 million so far. The strike at the parts distribution centers, one of the earlier phases of all this, means that dealerships and repair centers are already starting to see a shortage of parts for repairs. When you go to the dealership, you need a CV joint or something like that. You may not be able to get it. So the effects are already being felt. So tomorrow could, again, go either way here. Still a lot riding on this for everybody. We're live downtown. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, maybe that rose means they'll accept a deal with an automaker, or maybe that they will be spared more layoffs. But in the meantime, though, Dave, when you've been speaking with the experts, what are their thoughts on the fact that if perhaps the one automaker reaches a deal with the UAW because they are, of course, negotiating different things and offering different things, will the others likely follow suit?
We asked about that. They said it's really kind of hard to see in this case because it seems that the UAW, in the words of many experts, including the Center for Automotive Research tonight, they said, the UAW has essentially been pitting all of these companies against each other. So that dynamic could happen, but because this whole approach to this strike by the UAW is unprecedented, it's kind of hard to say, many say.
I think one thing everybody can agree on, they want this strike to be over with. Thanks so much, Dave.
That's right. Yep.